Hello, you're listening to ArtsTalk Radio, and I'm Michael Hasted. Welcome to the best of 2020, in which we'll bring you some of the highlights of programmes from the past year. We were in Amsterdam, The Hague, Rotterdam, and places nearby or in between.
ArtsTalk Radio online. Features on the arts in English.
Despite the problems with COVID-19 and the lockdowns, we have still managed to cover many and varied events for ArtsTalk Radio. We met American comedian Greg Shapiro. We were at the opera. We were at the Boijmans van Beuningen Museum and the Kunsthal in Rotterdam, as well as the Kunstmuseum and the Mauritshuis in The Hague. But way back in February, just before the first lockdown, we were in Beuningen at the Kasia Glowicka session organised by Sandro Brutti. I've come backstage at the Lotuskerk, and I'm in the dressing room where gypsy jazz multi-instrumentalist and singer Char Limburger and the other musicians are just about to go on stage. A few minutes ago I spoke to Char, and I wanted to know what to expect from tonight's concert. Was it going to be like the Hot Club de France with Stefan Grappelli and Django Reinhardt?
Well, that is one of the things that I do, yeah. Let's say that's the world in which I grew up most, because my dad was playing that style, Django Reinhardt's music, and all the people around me. But there was also New Orleans, and there was some Eastern European memories of Eastern European music.
We now have the rare privilege of interviewing somebody who doesn't normally speak, somebody who normally appears with his mouth covered up with a piece of large black gaffer tape. And it's Sam Wills, who's better known as Tapeface. So how long have you been doing this? He says, he put up three fingers. Or was it two fingers?
I can't commit to that.
Whatever. Okay. So, you have been doing this for quite a long time,
This character
haven't you?
has been around for a while now. It's been 15 years, I think,
Wow.
so since 2005. So, yeah, 15-year anniversary this year of gaffer taping my mouth shut. I thought originally it was just a small idea. I never thought it was going to take off to be this level, but yeah, it's
because I think your first success was the Edinburgh Festival about 10 years ago.
About 10 years. 2010 was the first my sort of best newcomer to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, but I've been previously performing in New Zealand and Australia for a number of years before
because
that.
I think possibly people will detect a New Zealand accent.
Yes, there is a New Zealand twang there, flattening of vowels.
I'm at the Kunsthal in Rotterdam, and I think most of you will know by now that its neighbour, the Boijmans van Beuningen Museum, will be closed for the next 7 years for major refurbishment. But the Boijmans is not idle and is mounting exhibitions at other venues, is taking pictures out to the community and lending works to other galleries around the world. This evening, Boijmans is hosting a New Year get-together at the Kunsthal for the city's great and good, and to promote the exhibition masterly, which consists of major works from the Boijmans collection. I'm with Friese Lammertser, who is the curator of Old Masters, I think is the correct title,
yes,
at the Boijmans.
Yeah.
So one would think perhaps that now the museum is closed for so long, you would be idle, you'd be sitting watching daytime television. But that's not the case,
No,
is it?
I should like to, but I still have to work, I'm afraid. No, it's great that we can have exhibitions in other museums in Rotterdam. And here in the Kunsthal we have really, I think, a rather spectacular show, at least really very important paintings and drawings from our...
Okay, hello, my name is Santiago Burgi. I'm a singer and actor from Argentina. And I'm very honored to be playing the part of Roderick Usher in this production of Opera Melancolica, The Fall of the House of Usher.
Was this a story you were familiar with before?
Yes, I'm a huge Allan Poe fan.
And the old films of Vincent Price?
Yes, I love them all. I love horror movies, and I read all the stories of Edgar Allan Poe. So I was really excited about it when they first told me about this project. I didn't know the music yet, but I instantly liked it very much.
That was Argentinian tenor Santiago Burgi, who appeared in the Opera2Day production of Opera Melancholica, which toured in January and February.
ArtsTalk Radio Online.
Souwie Buis has been a regular contributor to ArtsTalk Radio, reporting on exhibitions and literary events in The Hague and in Amsterdam. In February, she met with art historian Wendy Vossen to see an exhibition by a major English painter who is virtually unknown in Holland.
Wendy, you're joining us today on ArtsTalk Radio from Casa dell'Arte, and you've just been telling me about an exhibition in the Mauritshuis here in The Hague by a very famous English painter, George Stubbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what is so special about this man, for those of us who don't know?
Well, he is Britain's most famous horse portraitist. He lived in the 18th century, and of course the Mauritshuis is a 17th century art museum, so the link is stretching it a bit, but what we have in common is that, of course, we also have a lot of animal painters and paintings, and they were also, especially Dutch art in general, was very popular in the 18th century in England. So therefore there was a link between our collection and the work of Stubbs, who is famous for a huge painting, Whistle Jacket, and that is the unique thing about this exhibition. Not only that we focus on George Stubbs, somebody who has never been exhibited in the Netherlands before, but also that we have Whistle Jacket, this huge painting which has never left the UK before to go to mainland Europe.
ArtsTalk Radio Online. Interviews and features on the arts in English.
Pop or rock music in all its forms has been a significant factor in all our lives, and the visual aspects have been almost as important. I went to meet a man who has put together an exhibition which brings together music and art.
Fahren auf der Autobahn. Wir fahren auf der Autobahn.
I'm in the Kunsthal in Rotterdam, and I'm with Max Dax, who is the curator of a new exhibition which is called Black Album, White Cube. And what's the basic premise of the show?
I want to make the invisible visible. I want to show how invisible sound waves, how music materializes in art, in various forms of art, in the form of paintings, in the form of installations, videos, sculptures, drawings, you name it.
ArtsTalk Radio Online. Features on the arts in English.
We're out and about this week on location in Delft and dedicating the show to just one story. I'm in Voorstraat and I walk along here virtually every day because I live nearby. We're right in the middle of town next to the Oude Kerk, as you can hear. Even though I'm so familiar with Voorstraat, I'm now on my way to a place I didn't know was there until a couple of days ago when I learned of its existence from a friend. Right, I've arrived at number 13A, where I believe there is a hidden house. And it's well and truly hidden. There are no indications of what's here except for a small plaque on this old wooden door. Well, it's open and leads through this dark passage. I've got an appointment to meet a man who has turned this ancient building into something truly amazing, or so I've been told. Right, here we are. Well, this is all very exciting. Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
My lips are sealed.
I'm Barry, also my alter ego, Madame de Barry, and we are here at the Hidden House in Delft.
Really, it really is hidden, because all you have on the main street is one little door, and that leads down this passageway.
Yes. Up till recently, people come to me and they say, "I never knew this house was here." So they are up to recently very surprised to find this in the back of an alley.
For the benefit of our listeners, because I know radio is not the best medium for discussing visual things, can you give a very quick description of what the Hidden House of Madame Berry is?
I have difficulty. I can create it. I love to work on it, but for me to explain it in beautiful prose, it's a problem. But I can try.
But it's everything, isn't it? I mean, we're now in a room which is full of books. I suppose this is a sort of library, but there are hundreds of paintings. There's a little model theatre. There's exotic birds. I mean, it really is an Aladdin's cave. I was talking to Berry Visser in August. His alter ego, Madame de Berry, runs an eccentric museum in Delft. However, Berry's main claim to fame is that he was the creator of Mojo Concerts and organised the first Dutch music festival in Kralingen in 1970. Berry was the first promoter to bring artists like Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan and Jimi Hendrix to Holland.
ArtsTalk magazine provides the perfect companion to ArtsTalk Radio, with reviews and previews in English of cultural events in Holland. Whatever your interest in the arts, our international team of writers will always provide something new and exciting to see online. That's ArtsTalk Magazine, all one word, .nl. artstalkmagazine.nl.
September saw the pre-opening of the Depot, which is an annex to the Boijmans van Beuningen Museum in Rotterdam. This 40-metre-high silver bowl is going to be a depot for the museum to store its vast stock of artworks. I went along to have a look on the couple of days when VIPs, the press and some lucky members of the public were allowed in to see the work in progress. Right, we're inside the perimeter fence, and I think we have to go in past that security guard who seems to be controlling the door like a bouncer at an exclusive nightclub. What did he say?
He says, one moment. Oh. Maybe it's too busy inside.
Well, we're now inside, surrounded by builders, ladders, temporary lighting and cables, and they're still testing the fire alarms. At least I hope it's a test, or we'll all have to go outside again. I'm being told we have to go over there and get a hard hat, as this is still officially a construction site, with all the health and safety rules that have to be enforced.
Do we have to wear a crash helmet?
Yes, you do have to wear.
Are things likely to fall on our head?
It's still a construction site.
Do we get a yellow jacket as well?
No. And you also don't have to wear those ugly shoes. Usually you have also to wear construction shoes.
With a steel toe cap. Fantastic. Thank you.
We've now come up in the lift, and we're on the 5th floor, which is the penultimate floor before the roof garden. And it's incredible. It's all steel staircases and lifts and everything, and it's like a Piranesi drawing or an Escher drawing, something like that. It's quite incredible. I'm with Charles, who's the director of this wonderful building, and it must be a relief that it is actually open.
Well, we are 1 year before the real opening. So this is the silver opening. You see the building is silver from the outside, but still a little dusty in the inside where we are now. And we look forward to the opening immensely, and we are more or less surprised that so many people are already curious to see the building 1 year before that it's finished.
I know. When the tickets went online for this weekend, I think there were 7,000 of them. They were sold out within an hour or so.
3 hours, yeah. It will be very crowded for 3 days, and then the doors will be closed, and people who will be in the depot will have a unique experience, because next time the depot is full at work in exploitation with over 160,000 artworks installed, and the racks are full, and I think it's very, very exciting.
QE2's production of Talking Heads was due to open on the 11th of November at the CC Amstel Theatre in Amsterdam. I spoke to actors Loveday Smith and Mark Winstanley about the show before the new restrictions forced its opening to be cancelled. I started by asking Loveday which of Alan Bennett's short plays they were presenting.
A Chip in the Sugar and Bed Among the Lentils.
I'm sure everybody's very familiar with the Alan Bennett plays, but which are those?
The Chip Among the Sugar is the one that Alan himself performed, and Bed Among the Lentils is the one that Dame Maggie Smith did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we share a surname, but I don't know if there's any shared DNA.
So tell me about your company, this QE2 production. You're based in Amsterdam.
We're based in Amsterdam, and we're an offshoot of Queen's English Theatre Productions, who've done a lot of things in Amsterdam, but we developed to take work outside of Amsterdam, English-speaking theatre, to what in England might be called the provinces.
I'm in the Museum Rijswijk, and I'm with Diana Vint, who is the curator of the Paper Biennale. Now, it may not be obvious to everybody, but the exhibition is things made entirely of paper. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Not everything is entirely made of paper, but for 95% it's all paper.
You must have had big worries about this exhibition, because obviously you've been planning it for 2 years, and at the last moment, did it look like being cancelled?
Well, maybe not cancelled, but postponed. That was a possibility. But we are lucky that we could open in time and that we could prolong the previous exhibition. But the difficulties are that not every artist could come because of the coronavirus. We had an artist from Colombia. She's coming in September, but it's impossible for her to come to build up her own work. And we also had two difficulties with the works. One didn't arrive because of corona, and the other one was a golden floor, the map of Lebanon. And we couldn't get hold of enough gold leaf because of corona.
Of course, the other main issue this year has been Brexit. Also in September, I made my last visit of the year to the Kunsthal in Rotterdam to see an exhibition dealing with the subject by a young photographer who is half Dutch and half English. For us British expats in Holland, Brexit has been a source of worry, frustration, anger, and, dare I say it, shame. If you subscribe to conspiracy theories, you may well believe that the coronavirus episode was created by Boris Johnson in order to distract attention from Brexit. But now, with little more than 3 months to go, it's back in the headlines. I'm in one of the small galleries in the Kunsthal, where an exhibition has just opened entitled My Brexit 5248, and I'm with the photographer, Merlin Daleman. 5248, I take it, is the voting.
Yes, it
proportions.
refers to the outcome of the referendum. Yes.
What was your viewpoint? Where were you coming from?
Well, it kind of started with me not understanding why people voted to leave, because that came as a huge surprise to me. Then I thought to myself, well, don't I know these people? I mean, it's 52% of the population, and I've got to know a few Brexiteers. So that was the beginning for me to look for the Brexiteers and to see who they are and what they're like and why they voted the way they voted.
Souwie Buis reported on a lot of book and literary events over the year, including many at De Balie in Amsterdam, including this one back in February.
I'm sitting here with Suketu Mehta. Now, he has written a book called This Land is Our Land, an Immigrant's Manifesto. And it seems, very appropriate now as the issue of immigration is so much at the forefront of the news. Thank you so much, Suketu, for joining us today on ArtsTalk Radio.
Thank you for having me on.
You've come from New York. You grew up partially in India and in New York. What made you decide that you needed to write an immigrant's manifesto?
I started writing this book in 2016, the year that Trump got elected, because the worldwide conversation around immigrants and immigration fills me with rage, with deep anger at the way that immigrants are being portrayed as rapists and terrorists. People come to take your jobs and rape your women. And I started asking myself, why is the conversation only told from the perspective of the rich countries? What's in it for Holland or America? Should we let in immigrants? How many? Should they be skilled or unskilled? And I thought, what about the immigrants themselves? Why would someone leave their families, their homes, everything they hold dear, to get up and make incredibly perilous journeys with their little children in a small boat across the Mediterranean? It's because the rich countries have stolen the future of the poor countries through colonialism, corporate colonialism, war, and climate change.
President Trump also figured large in a piece we did in October.
Well, thanks. My name is Greg Shapiro. Thank you.
I'm at the theatre in Delft, and I'm in the dressing room of comedian Greg Shapiro, who's just come off stage. And your new show, your new tour, is called Farewell Trumpland.
It's leaving Trumpland. You can.
We'll start again. We'll start again.
I didn't do a very good job of reading that. Okay.
I'm at the theatre in Delft, and I'm in the dressing room of comedian Greg Shapiro. And his new show, his new tour, is called
Leaving Trumpland.
Why leaving?
For a number of reasons. First of all, I've done the voice of Trump for so long. It's been so great. But yeah, if Trump ends up leaving the White House, then we'll all be leaving this bizarre experiment called Trumpland.
And if not?
And if not, I don't know if I will feel comfortable returning to my homeland ever again, or with Corona, if I will ever be allowed. So, exciting times.
Because I think Donald Trump is a gift for comedians, is he not?
He's been so great ever since the video about the Netherlands second, and but we've had a good run, and people are saying like, oh, what if he leaves? Then will you be out of a job? And the fact is, I'm out of so many jobs.
I was talking to Greg Shapiro just before the American election and just before new restrictions curtailed his Leaving Trumpland tour. That was an extract from a piece called Sunspot by Polish composer Kasia Glowicka. I'm with Kasia now at the ArtTech studios in The Hague. Hello.
Hello.
Can you start by telling us a little bit about your work? How would you describe it?
I'm a composer who was trained classically, who ventured into other genres as well. I believe that there is only one music. Therefore, I'm using all kinds of genres in my work. I concentrate on vocal works, stage and opera works, as well as film.
That was Polish composer and writer Kasia Glowicka. And what she did not mention was that she's also written a play for radio called Lillian. And we'll be broadcasting that on ArtsTalk Radio in the new year. Well, that's it for 2020. a year which nobody will deny has been memorable. Let's hope things get better on all fronts in 2021. But whatever happens, ArtsTalk Radio and ArtsTalk Magazine will be there to cover it. So, I'm Michael Hasted, and until the new year, it's goodbye. And don't forget, stay safe.